Okay, CBD.
Oh, you got both going on. Here we go. Good morning. Welcome to the Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse Daily Dose of AFA.
Where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing. So you can start your day off the AFA way. And I started my day off the AFA with a nice big inhale. Mark, so when people have forgotten what AFA is.
You're going to know. You keep watching, you're going to know. You're absolutely fucking amazing. You are absolutely amazing exactly as you are. Exactly. No change needed. And so,
question, can you hear me? Because I forgot to put my earbuds in.
Oh, can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Very good. No earbuds today.
Yeah. Right. Here we are.
Here we are.
January 20th, 2021. Oh, yeah. What's going on today?
What's going on today? Well, there's a lot going on today, and we all need
it's Inauguration Day. Woo! Here we go. All right. So, Sherry, let's start off with the daily love. So today I pulled from Emmett Fox's book, Around the Year with Emmett Fox. Now, I'm a huge Emmett Fox fan. And if you don't know who Emmett Fox is, he was a Christian philosopher, a new age, new genre Christian philosopher and preacher who came to the United States in the early 1930s, right in the Depression. And in the middle of the Depression, he had the largest Sunday sermon anywhere in the country. He had 5,000 people in attendance in New York City. Like this, everybody, like he was the guy. Anyway, I love his readings. And so today's was about his concept of what he called, and he wrote a whole book about it called The Golden Key. And really, in a nutshell, what the golden key is just a methodology of refocusing your awareness and your focus onto positive. And so what he says to do what he says to do in this reading and in this whole book of the Golden Key is when you have a problem in your life, and it doesn't matter what the problem is, and when you start to think about that problem, and now he's talking about think about it, like plan, figure out how to fix it, because we always figure it out, right?
Yeah.
He said, instead of doing that, refocus your awareness on God. So every time you think about the problem, just think about God and let the problem go away. And he says the problem will solve itself. You won't need to worry about it. You won't need to do anything about it. You just refocus your awareness onto the positive, and that problem will be taken care of.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And so, counter to everything we think, right?
Yes. So God, spirit, source, divine.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever you believe your higher power is.
Right. Now, here's the thing. People have a problem with the word God.
Yeah, I know.
Guess what? It's just a freaking word.
It is a word. That's it.
Three-letter word. All of the connotation and the meaning and sometimes the bullshit meaning behind it is all made up. So right now, let go of whatever meaning there is in that word for you and just put something new and positive in place. So when you hear that word, you're not like, ah.
All right, Mark, is my screen frozen?
It sure is. But you know what? You were smiling beautifully during that moment. Yeah, it was a beautiful freeze.
Mark, the same thing happened yesterday.
I know.
Kind of odd. Spirit is speaking. And can I tell you what's interesting, Mark?
Yeah.
The Spirit was speaking when you said now, right?
Yeah.
Think about this. So that's my word of the day, which is really, really interesting. Now. Okay, really. So I have a little story to go with it.
Uh-huh.
So when we are not in the now, we're not in the present, right? So this quote popped up for me when I was struggling yesterday, which totally helped me to get back into the now and the acceptance. And it's a quote by Eckhart Tolle. Really powerful.
I love him.
Life
will be doing a workshop with him.
Oh,
so excited.
So powerful. So this was a quote, and I've been following his work for a while, and it just popped up that I had saved in a meme. So it was, life will give you whatever experience is most helpful for the evolution of your consciousness.
Yeah.
Right? So how do you know that this is the experience that you need?
Mhm.
Because it's the experience that you're having right now.
Right. Good morning, Cheryl. Yeah, that's right, Sherry.
So,
You're right.
right. So how do we change our experience, right? So like
Yeah,
you said, we change our thoughts about it. We invite source into our life,
right.
process the emotions, do the inner work. My outer world experience shows me what's going on in my inner world.
Mhm.
My response to what is happening around me shows me what is going on in my outer world and the work that I need to do. So, right.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
And oftentimes, and like you're reading too, which I find so powerful, is maybe the only work you need to do is just to focus on your internal divine or your God or your higher power. Right?
Everything else takes care of itself. I
Everything else.
know we don't wanna believe it because we wanna cling to this, I have to do something about it. I have to make a change. I have to solve it, right?
Yeah.
It's an oxymoron. If you
Total.
let go, it solves itself. You
Yeah.
let
So
go of
here it
that attachment.
is.
And I love that whole thing about, Eckhart Tolle wrote The Power of Now, about being in the present moment, about being in now. Well, if you think about it, and we talked about it last week, I think, everything is in here anyway. Like the past and the future are not out there somewhere. They're
Right.
only in here. So you have all of time in the world and everything in here. Just choose to be in the one called now.
Exactly. So here it is. You ready? What time is
Yeah.
it? It's now. In 1 hour?
Now, 8:09.
Now.
Right. It's always now.
It's always
And it's now.
It's
Yeah.
now. So,
Yeah.
right. So here's another cool concept. So when my inner world is not in homeostasis or balance,
Mhm.
I see that reflected back to me in my
Right.
experiences and my responses.
Right.
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 Really. So
Right.
healing is an ongoing job, total ongoing
Right.
job. Acceptance, accept where you are, accept
Yeah.
your humanity, and accept that you are absolutely fucking amazing just the way
Accept
you
that.
are.
Take that on today. Accept that you are absolutely fucking amazing.
Exactly. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do that as
Why
well.
not? Yeah.
Yes. Wellness for today. How are we taking
Wellness
care of
Wednesday. Woo, yeah.
how are we taking care of ourselves today?
That's right. How are we taking care of ourselves, Sherry?
Well, so I got this beautiful candle from your wife, and I want to just say a big shout out to Miss Jamie. I love you, Sister Sledge. Bottom line, she gave me this candle, Live Your Best Life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the light, right?
Mm,
Focus on the light, and the light is love, and love is where I find
yeah.
my source.
Yes.
So I'm going to do that now, all day long. How about you?
You know, God, it's I have such an amazing life. I mean, I really, really do. But it's not like I couldn't find something to bitch about, right? I could definitely put a list together of all of the negative things. Oh, I wish I had this. I wish I was here or there. But you know what? It's perfect. Exactly where I am right now is the most perfect life. And I just absolutely love it. I mean, you as a partner, my wonderful wife,
Mhm.
my family, my friends, those are the things that matter to me. All the rest of the stuff is just, frankly, it's just bullshit. All of those relationships are what really are meaningful with me. So for me today, my word is friend. So I am going to actively reach out to friends today with people I
Nice.
haven't heard from in a long time. I did it last night. I reached out to a friend that I went to nursing school with, and she's in San Diego now and, living her best life. And we, infrequently reach out to each other. And we had the most lovely conversation last night where it was like I honored her for the role that she played in my life, and she honored me for the role that I play. And she's like, it was just this mutual like recognition of how important we are in our lives. And she even said it, even though we don't talk on a regular basis, when we do talk, it's like no time passed at all.
Because it's now,
Because
right?
it's now. It's always now.
It's always
So, yeah, so my word is friend for today.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Here's a really good one too. So when I was struggling just a little bit yesterday too, I want to give a big shout out to Carrie Lee because
Mhm.
what she said was really important. She goes, Sherry, be nice to my friend, which was me. right? So
She's right. Hey, Carrie Lee, there she is. She popped up. Denise, thanks for popping in.
hey, everybody.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
you
really
got
cool. So,
Cheryl and Denise and Carrie
oh,
Lee.
nice. Wellness Wednesday. So thank you, Carrie Lee, for that reminder to be nice to my friend.
I
Truly.
love that one.
Yeah. So health awareness theme in January. One of the
Yeah.
other health awareness themes is National Winter Sports Traumatic Brain Injury Awareness Month.
Yes. Yes.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what? We have people in our lives, and we won't mention names. We have people in our lives that have suffered recent traumatic brain injuries with winter sports.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Interesting enough too is there's a nurse in the community. I just want to give a big shout out to her as well. Nikki Lawley is a pediatric nurse that basically suffered a traumatic brain injury. Actually, three of them. The last one that she suffered from was a work-related pediatric nurse. She got headbutted so bad that that was it. She has a severe traumatic brain injury, and basically nothing worked. And cannabis.
It doesn't take much, right? Because
Yeah.
how thin is that space between your skull and your brain? Your brain's just in this wash kind of floating around inside.
Yeah.
It's mushy, it's not solid, right? So when you get just the littlest thing, that impact.
Yeah, the bruised brain, and then what happens after. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But the interesting thing too, that I found about research was that research has shown that people who have a little bit of THC in their system at the time of injury are
Yeah.
less likely to die than
Mhm.
those who do not. So
There's some good research, and we're going to talk about it, Sherry, about how good cannabis is for the brain. So we'll get on to that,
oh,
right?
yeah, really good. And we're going to
Yeah.
get into specific cannabinoids tomorrow, which will be great. So basically, just to review really quickly,
Uh-huh.
traumatic brain injury is a brain dysfunction caused by an outside force, usually a violent blow or an injury to the head.
Hmm.
It results, it can be a result of severe sports injury, car accident, regular accidents, headbutting, by accident. And there's three levels: mild, moderate, and severe.
Right.
So concussion has been known as being a mild traumatic brain injury. So it is
Right.
still a traumatic brain
It
injury.
is. Your brain has still been injured.
Exactly. So there's three, and we can go over them really quick. Mark, you want to go over them with me?
Sure. Ready? Let's go with
Yeah.
traumatic brain injury symptoms. So loss of consciousness, you may or may not lose consciousness, being dazed or confused, dizziness or balance difficulties, weakness or numbness in the arms and the legs, headaches, nausea and vomiting, drowsiness or an increase in sleeping, which that's one of the things that you watch for when somebody has a traumatic brain
Mhm.
injury. When somebody hits their head, you really got to watch them for the next 24 hours for sleepiness. It's one of the things you really watch for.
Yeah.
Sleep disruptions, restlessness, blurred vision, ringing in the ears, changes of smell, memory problems, difficulty concentrating, changes in mood, anxiety, and depression.
Really, really interesting. Really, the
Mhm.
brain is so powerful. And just think of all the receptors that we have in our brain. The CB1 receptors, most abundant in our brain, which cannabinoids work. So the
Right.
next one, moderate to severe traumatic brain injury. So just imagine all the symptoms that Mark just talked about,
Mhm.
plus a lot of patients can have prolonged loss of consciousness, anywhere from minutes to hours. Patients have persistent worsening headaches that don't go away. Patients can have worsening nausea and vomiting. A lot
Yeah.
of patients experience seizures, that pupil dilatation, so big giant pupils in one or both eyes. Some patients have experienced fluid coming out of their nose or ears,
Yeah.
difficult walking, weakness in toes and fingers, numbness, tingling, coordination difficulties, extreme confusion, agitation, combativeness, slurring of speech, and coma. So
Yeah.
that's severe, right?
Right.
Can
Right.
you imagine a plant being able to truly help with
When
that?
it truly can help. So, what are some of the treatment modalities?
So some
Well, rest, number
Yep.
one. You really just need to rest. You can't tax your brain. You really shouldn't, you shouldn't be on the computer or reading, whatever. You should just rest. There's medication. There are some pharmaceutical medications that they'll give. Surgery. Sometimes, if it's a severe traumatic brain injury, they might have to do surgery to correct any of the issues that are going on. And here's the big one: cannabinoids.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So here's the interesting thing too. So when people have traumatic brain injuries,
Mhm.
oftentimes it is days after where people start to have worsening symptoms. So if you think
Right.
about it, the body releases these toxic chemicals that
Mhm.
can further be damaging the brain. So it causes this oxidative stress, the inflammation. The brain is constantly firing, right? And so oftentimes too, these can cause what they call a neural death, even after the person is stabilized. So this can cause more damage than actually the original injury.
Right.
So that's really important.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how cannabis as a treatment, okay, we'll talk about this now, we'll get into it,
Let's do it.
minimize secondary brain damage that
Yeah.
happens after the original injury,
Mhm.
right?
Yes. It can interact with receptors that may help the body from releasing the cytokines which cause inflammation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Neuroprotectant, so here's the other thing too. What about the benefits of cannabinoids for symptom management? I mean,
Right.
just think of that.
Just the symptoms themselves, not even, but the most important thing is, of course, the neuroprotection and the decrease of inflammation, but these other things, right? That's the beauty and the amazing part of cannabis, right, Sherry, is that it doesn't just do one specific thing. It'll hit like 4 or 5 things
All
that
at
you're
the same
having
time.
going on all at the same time.
Am I
That's
hitting my umbrella?
absolutely amazing.
So is the umbrella right there?
Nope, other side.
So really interesting because I can't see myself. But anyways, so
Yeah.
that's the part that's so interesting too about cannabinoids. If there's a
Mhm.
benefit for symptom management and just some of them. And you think about the umbrella concept, the
Yep.
umbrella, when we educate on the endocannabinoid system, is our body. All of the spokes of the umbrella represent
Yeah.
different organ systems, body systems, and it just to show the interconnectedness of it, right?
Mhm.
And so basically the benefits of using cannabinoids for symptom management to decrease nausea, improving people's appetite,
Right. Decrease depression. It'll improve your mood.
decreasing anxiety. It will improve your mood even more.
Yes. And decrease insomnia. You get improved sleep. And let me tell you, you need to have good sleep. Oh my gosh. As a person who's had issues sleeping for a very long time, you need to have good sleep. I mean, it's just like it's the difference between night and day. Everything hinges around good sleep.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely. Yes.
So, what types of cannabinoids are we going to be looking at when we're talking about treating or actually helping to alleviate some of the symptoms of a traumatic brain injury?
Well, we love whole plant, right? It has
Oh,
the terpenes, it has all of the antioxidants, the
right,
bioflavonoids, the
right.
cannaflavonoids, right? All of that. But
Mhm.
basically, we have both THC and CBD, but preferably CBD dominant. And this is because CBD interacts with so many of the brain neurotransmitter signaling systems:
Right.
dopamine signaling, serotonin signaling, opioid signaling.
Mhm.
THC works great too, but basically, studies have shown that the CBD dominant can be a little
Yes.
better, as
Yeah.
well as with the terpenes, beta
Mhm.
caryophyllene and terpene, which we talked about last week.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. And THC and CBD mimic our internal endogenous cannabinoids, which can, again, prevent the release of cytokines. So, cytokines are pro inflammatory and that can cause increased damage to the brain. And again, Sherry talked about it earlier. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily the original injury that's the problem. It's the following days afterwards where this continuation of, I mean, the body's reacting, trying to do the right thing, but it causes inflammation and that's more damage to the brain.
Yes. And so we have also this toxic molecule calling glutamate that can be released. It decreases the glutamate, and this can be released after the traumatic brain injury. So the other thing too that THC and CBD can do is also reduce the swelling of the brain and any neurological impairment that may be incurring, and also reduces brain cell death.
Yes.
Important.
Yes. Yes. Okay, other therapies, because you know what? We like to talk about all sorts of things that affect the endocannabinoid system, the ECS.
Yep. So diet, we always talk about diet: high fat, low carbohydrate, low sugar diet with plenty of leafy greens and
Mhm.
omega 3 oils, that DHA
Yes.
EPA ratio, and
Yeah.
fermented foods that have probiotics in them.
Sounds to me like that's a modified keto.
Yeah. Well,
High
here's the
fat,
thing.
low carb. Now listen, they've used the keto diet, the ketosis diet it was actually developed as a medical intervention for epilepsy.
There
and they
you go.
still use it today. So, you don't think that food or drugs?
Oh,
Think
well,
again.
yes. Well, here's the reason why, too. Let's get back to the endocannabinoid system.
Yeah.
Our enteric nervous system, which is our
Mhm.
entire gastrointestinal tract,
Yep.
our central nervous system interact with one another via
Right.
the endocannabinoid system.
Right.
So it makes sense that everything that you put into your mouth is
Yeah.
going to affect your brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Science,
So for folks who don't know, your enteric
nervous system
nervous system is your gut. It's all of the nerves and the nervous system associated with your gut, right?
from
Your
mouth
organs.
to butt.
And it operates on its own, by the way. If
Yeah,
you happen to have an injury and you're brain dead, like you're clinically brain dead, your enteric system, nervous system is still operating 100% just fine on its own. So when somebody says trust your gut feeling, you better, because it's actually a thing.
it's a thing. And it's just so fascinating. So other things that can complement
Mhm.
traditional therapies and cannabinoids are
Yeah,
nutritional supplements and antioxidants,
sure.
specifically magnesium, vitamin D, curcumin, glutathione, and melatonin to restore circadian rhythm and
Yes.
sleep.
And of course, acupuncture and neurofeedback. Those are two other modalities that'll work really, really well.
Yeah, really, really well. So
Mhm.
this has been really awesome. I want to give another big shout out to Nikki Lawley, the former
Yeah.
pediatric nurse with a severe traumatic brain injury. She's done a couple of
Yep.
shows with us. We
Mhm.
recently put up a little PowerPoint presentation that she did, and we've been sharing her story. And the story needs to get out because it's traumatic
Listen,
brain
that's how
injury.
we that's how we get that's how we end stigma, right? People don't want to talk about anything to do with brain injury because it's like, oh, an injured brain. Well, guess
No,
what? I mean, your brain is another part of your humanness, your human body, and it has issues.
and it's important if you
And it's okay.
get back to your umbrella, right? That
The
whole
umbrella,
concept. Your brain is on one of the spokes of the umbrella and it interacts with all of your other organ systems. Really,
that's
really
right.
important.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so Nikki Lawley will also be on in a few weeks on In the Weeds Prohibition Talk Radio with Nurse Mark, myself, Joe, Tim Fair, and the Vermont Grow Coach. So I had a
Nice.
big plug, and we're going to be doing a show with them this afternoon, 4:20 to 6:20. So make sure you join us. Beth Waterfall is the guest, and we'll be having our Canna Talk segment. So really excited for that.
Hell yes, Sherry.
And what else are we doing next Monday?
Oh, coming up real soon. Come on. You better go. Go to the greennurse.com/breathwork. Sign up for this breathwork course that we're running for the next 3 weeks. I'm telling you, it will change your life. Change your life. All you got to do, sign up. If you can't make the 9 a.m. time, some people can't. Totally understand. If you can't
Record.
make it, it's all recorded. So you can do it at whenever you have time during your day. That day, you can do this practice and you can participate and be part of the group because we're all connected in WhatsApp. Really change your life today. Sign up.
Change your life. Absolutely. If you or someone you love is suffering from chronic illness, chronic
Mhm.
pain, if you or someone you love is interested in learning how to incorporate cannabis into a wellness regimen, or if you or someone you love is interested in having an adult use safe recreational experience, reach out to us. We're so happy to educate you and empower you to use this plant in the
Yeah.
best way possible for you.
Yes. Yes. You know what? If you're a healthcare provider, anywhere in the healthcare spectrum, we talk about all these different modalities, acupuncture, massage, anywhere where if you're helping people to be healthy, join us. We need you in the community. We need your energy. We need you here, and we will help you understand how to integrate cannabis into your practice. So join
Absolutely.
us, the
Yep.
Green Nurse. Yeah.
Yeah. And Mark, what kind of a day are we going to have today?
Today is the best day ever. I am having an AFA day right now, all the way through. And Sherry, what's it all about?
Oh, goodness, Mark. It is truly about living your best life.
That's right. All right, folks, much love. Happy Inauguration Day. Remember, if you have a problem or a trouble, turn your awareness and your focus to God instead of the trouble, and it'll be gone. It'll be fixed. So we'll see you tomorrow.